We're a bunch of old cool nerds. Well, ladies and gentlemen, old cool nerds. But then we get lost. Lost in the future, lost in change, and to remind us of where things are, and to remind us of the spirit of a culture, an era, and a community. Ladies and gentlemen, Victor Allen's Ethos.
Somebody said that we need to dance more often on this show just to lighten stuff up. And I'm going to do my best. To try to dance somewhere within the last decade of dances, because a lot of us get caught in a time warp. But I'm glad that we're going to do something more lighthearted. It's hard to follow up that delivery by Mario. It is really hard. This is where if you had popcorn, you take a break. If you had wine, you take a break. If you had any common sense, you take a break. But if you want relaxation, I'll give you some good news. And then some highlights. So take a deep breath. You guys ready for this? See what he does? He's about to relax. See, this is part. Now imagine if I just sat there and said, Mario, let's take it to the cave. Mario would have gave me that side eye. He would have gave me that side eye while he was talking about Joe Biden not cracking a smile. Okay. All right, let me give you something that most of you may know, and if you don't, it's my education. That's because it's my ethos. HBCU, historically black college universities. So, which ones may or may not be, because there is a caveat to this delivery today, but I'm going to start off with some information that may inspire you. I'm going to find out from the twin brothers in the room because they went to the same university. Okay, today the nation's 106 HBCUs make up just 3% of American colleges and universities, yet they produce 20% of all African American graduates and 25% of African American graduates in the STEM fields of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, the critical industries of the future. Are those good numbers to be proud of, brothers from Howard University? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay.
They can be better, but those are
They can
great.
be better,
but those are good.
Okay, good.
They've always been the developers of black leadership. That's why my father wanted me to go there.
Right.
Because it was a recognized thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, interesting. When I did my search of HBCUs, because I always try to stay with the Google times, Mario always reminds people, search, and I search a lot. When I bring up HBCUs in general sense, do you know what I come up with most of the time? I'm going to see if you guys can understand it. Typically, you think you're going to come up with the framework of HBCUs, universities and colleges, but you know the one picture that comes up most of the time is cheerleading bands, fraternities.
Well, party, but that's not
squad.
just Let's be, in all fairness, it's not just HBCUs. When you pull up colleges today,
that's right.
They tend to show you partying college people.
But wait a minute.
This is just the black people.
Well, it's a percentage. Listen, I know where he's going.
Yeah, like
I did the search.
More weaves and pressed hair down.
No. See, I wanted to. See, here we go. Okay, I wanted to dispel something because I know where this is going. See, I know where this is going, and I'm dead serious about this.
There.
I'm dead.
You know where it's going. He said this
right.
Where I know where this is going.
Where else can this go?
Right. Where else?
Lord.
Wait, because I stumbled upon. Isn't that an app? Stumbled upon. Okay, I stumbled upon that almost every time I search an image or GIF with the term HBCU leadership, 80% of the images were either like fraternities, battle bands, and cheering squads. That's because they're probably more active. It's not because that's the choice. It's just that's where they permeate.
That's the way the search mechanisms work.
Right.
If you're at an HBCU,
right,
what are you looking at?
Right. There
Now,
you
certainly Omari and I
Right.
were more focused on our studies.
Well, this looks like Alabama State University. That's what I'm looking at.
Okay.
I was not. I wouldn't know. I was in the library.
You're
I
right.
went to the library.
My hands in my lap and my hands in my pockets, not counting change.
Oh, okay. So for me, I look at this as you provide the art, the creative arts, and is this a creative art image? Yes or no?
One can
I would-
interpret it that way.
I
Yes.
think so.
Yes.
That's
It's
creative.
depending on my
And it's
position.
art.
It's creative and certainly artful.
Yeah.
Yes. And way better than it was in the past. All right.
Well, it was pretty good in the past too.
It was, but if
Yeah, it was good.
it was.
natural.
Of course, you're reminiscing.
Natural.
We're gonna let you get away with that.
Well, you know, I mean, this is part of the HBCU
Yes, it is.
Yes.
experience.
Yes, it is.
You know, you go to a HBCU, they have a bomb-ass marching band, they have some dancing girls.
Howard.
But, yeah,
Right.
except Howard. We had a little bitty band, but they were bad. What are they called? The sound jukebox?
Right.
What?
I don't know.
But anyway, what Howard had was, you know, a lot of other things that went on in the fine
Yeah,
arts
we had
department.
fine
There-
arts.
There was business.
Right, right.
All right.
School of
stop.
communication. You know,
Yeah,
we
we
had,
had that.
FM station,
Sure.
TV station.
Yeah.
Oh, my
But
goodness.
Howard did have some good. The dance girls out with a
We
bomb.
didn't have no good cheerleaders.
Well, wasn't much to cheer for.
See,
You know what?
wasn't-
Stop. Here we go. I'm trying to keep the level up and
Okay,
positive.
another gentleman.
So, because to me, this is the energy. And you know, sometimes the energies may lead you on a pathway of a greater success if you get past the point of what they call creative movement. Okay? So, question real quick. Is Middle Tennessee State University a HBCU? Hesitation.
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't never heard of.
I've never heard of it.
I've never heard of.
It is not. Middle Tennessee State University is ranked 288th in all the national universities. It seems it would be that way, but it is not. And if you look at the numbers for the ethnic makeup, 65% white, 17% black or African American, 6.8% Hispanic or Latino, 4% Asian, 3.6 two or more races, and on and on and on. But I discovered that because I literally wanted to recognize a certain achievement from somebody who recently graduated. So I thought the best thing to do was go ahead and show you that you should stand tall, Vanessa Reed. I want to congratulate you on her recent graduation this past Saturday from Middle Tennessee State University.
Yeah.
Her major is integrated social studies.
Yes.
And so she's going to be out there in the healthcare field really helping because that's her background and is needed in this environment that we have today. And instead of me sitting back and explaining more, I want to go ahead and play the video of my little dedication to recognize that you stand tall, VR. Stand tall because you did a good job. And we'll go ahead and let it play. Thank you, Mario.
Vanessa Alfley. When you finally get a booty.
Time to fly the grind to find I know. Grind to find the blind to mind the show. Keep the flow, I know to let it go. Off the top the dome, I let it blow. Get it like, oh, wanna get flow, but I keep that, oh. Wanna get team, but I got that, whoa. Wanna get team, but you got that, whoa. Get it like, everybody wanna chill, wanna feel like, woo. Hold up on the scene, but I green like, ooh. Wanna be the flop, but I thought you knew. Wanna get chill, what you really wanna do? I see them haters, they be talking, walking all the time. Often putting them in the coffin, boffin when they say rhyme. Pretty girl dance on the
Congratulations.
Congratulations, VR. Big step. It only just begins. And yes, please don't look at that song as a deterrent. It's an enhancement. Because it is true. pretty girls do dance, don't they?
They sure do. And as I like to say to all the graduates immediately upon graduation, show me the money. Show me the money and make sure you're saving and following all the appropriate things, because Uncle Sam is the other one in the back who's clapping also.
He's just sitting there waiting.
Yes.
Another tax-paying graduate.
Yes, yes,
Give it up.
absolutely. Okay, moving on right ahead because I know I have to keep this moving. I want to give congratulations to Bowie State University. I believe it's in Maryland.
Yeah.
They basically will make history, maybe even the History Channel, if they are selected to participate in the first BSU A+E Networks Apprentice Program, designed to give students virtual real-life experience in several content areas such as entertainment, production, and communications. This is the first A+E Apprentice Program ever offered, and the organization selected BSU, Maryland, first HBCU to participate. Is that some good news for you guys?
That's good
That's
news.
good.
There you go.
I was always suspect whether or not Bowie was an HBCU, but I guess they fall in that category.
Yeah, yeah,
Do
absolutely.
they really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's but Maryland's education department took over the HBCUs in Maryland. So really the one that is known is Morgan.
That's the one I know.
right.
But they have Bowie, Eastern Shores, Maryland Eastern Shores.
Oh, Maryland Eastern Shore, right. I did know Maryland Eastern Shore.
Yeah, Bowie is a nice campus, though. A very nice campus.
Where part of Maryland
It's
is?
in Bowie, Maryland. That's outside of Columbia, Maryland, which is
Well, that's not that far.
well, it's between D.C. and Baltimore.
Yeah,
Right-
okay,
right
about to say
between
that's
DC
not
and
far.
Baltimore.
right. Very
Nice
good.
campus.
All right, moving right along, getting close to what I call the topic of discussion, but this right now, I want to give a present situation of the HBCU rankings in 2022, the top 25 historically black colleges and universities, and they have ties also. So you're not going to get 25s, but you're going to get people that, or excuse me, organizations that are ties. So Prairie View, A&M, Lincoln University, Fayetteville, Bowie State University, all tied for 24th. But as you go down the list, I want to see, do you find a university that's now number one, where I thought the great Howard University would be number one? It is Spelman. How do you feel about it? Howard alumnus in the room.
It don't bother me. I want to go to Spelman myself to visit. We should go to Spelman just to ensure the fairness of this evaluation. And certainly our visiting Spelman would have nothing to do with the gathering of intelligent, gifted, beautiful, and available black females in the numbers in which we will find them. It has nothing to do with that. Mine is purely a experiment on seeing whether or not Omari Bakari and I will be able to merge successfully with them in order to better broadcast the inner workings from the dormitories
Spelman.
late at night when their parents aren't home.
You ever seen the
But
longest
so-
political bullshit speech
Yeah,
ever
but
done?
so the list is this list isn't accurate, and that's why I would question whether or not Spelman's actually the number one college. You have Jackson State on there tied with Norfolk State and
Right.
Clark University at number 18.
Right.
I have to tell you, Jackson State, even though Mississippi is probably one of the worst states in the union, Jackson State has an excellent communications and business program. And of course, they got Deion Sanders down there coaching the football team. I think they just
Right.
won the SWAC. But now Jackson State should be up there in the top 10. Now Morehouse,
I do it.
they need to take a little slide. I don't know how they're tied with. Okay, see, Hampton's number 4.
Right. Xavier at number 3, University of Louisiana.
Okay, the list is skewed.
The
There we
list
go.
is skewed toward
There we
the
go.
bourgeois, too. Remember that. As you go up closer to number 1, they get richer and lighter. They get richer and lighter.
Stop.
As
Stop.
you go up.
Yeah.
And you come down to Dillard and Tougaloo, they kind of black. They got some black ones down there. They got some
Yeah,
real.
Lord.
Yeah, now, but as you start moving up through Fisk, North A&T, Florida A&M, they're still a little country, you know. But as you get up into Morehouse, Hampton, Xavier, and Howard, Spelman, now you get into that ones where they they parents,
Fisk has those beautiful Tennessee stallions. Lord.
Okay, now what year are you guys talking about?
Any year.
Okay.
And
When's the last time you guys have been?
the reference that Omari made to the stallions, I have no understanding
Right.
whatsoever what he would
year?
mean.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
You don't have Tennessee State's drill team on here?
See, here we go.
Now he's giving
See,
us requests
right.
on the desktop.
That
and shit.
belongs
Now,
at the
he's
top
already
of the
making,
segment.
find me.
Right. The GIFs that I provided, I should
Wasn't
include
good
them.
enough what we already did.
All right. Now here's the real subject here. This is best parties ranking of all universities. All universities. And where the particular HBCUs fall. Of course, you have North Carolina A&T State University at 49,
Damn.
48 Morehouse, 36 Florida A&M, and I bolded that because Mario has a great affinity for the state of Florida. Clark Atlanta University at 21, and Howard at 5. That means of all colleges, not just HBCUs.
Yeah, well, see,
Can you guys confirm?
I don't agree.
Well, I always thought that was the art of going to Howard, knowing how to party and study simultaneously.
Because Howard, okay, to me, I agree with Omari. And for those reasons, to me, Howard really didn't come off as a party school to me. It just really didn't. I used to be marveling at the girls' dorms on the weekends, right? Sometimes we and my boys, of course, we're hanging out in front of the girls' dorm, wondering why we ain't got none. But the girls' dorm is full of women.
Yeah.
Omari, didn't it amaze you on Saturday night where it would be the girls' dorm, they would be hanging out the windows, and we'd be like, we'd be talking a little shit, after having a little alcohol.
A little brick wall
Why
in
don't y'all
front of
come
the
on down?
quad.
Yeah, we would invite them down. But I would go like, why are all the women in the dorm on Saturday night?
Somebody
Okay.
said, what decade?
Okay.
Well, now, see, on this list, you got Morehouse College, number 48.
Right.
That would appear to be right. I mean, how much
Well,
partying
but this-
could a bunch of guys
wait,
do
wait.
with each other?
Is this the ranking? I want to make sure these are you got them in a certain order up here. That's
Right.
not the order in which they're ranked.
If you guys want to go to
You're
my
saying
ethos,
that in the ranking, this is where the HBCUs come in.
that's where they
Yeah,
fall.
I don't agree. I would not agree. I don't think Howard, and still when you go there, I said, even now, okay, compared to who?
Right, 'cause
Everybody down south seemed like they partied harder than us when I was there. No offense. I don't know what
But-
you thought, Amari.
And I
But everybody
think-
down south seemed like they partied harder.
well, don't get it twisted. These white kids
Oh,
party
they were at
and
Maryland,
drink,
University of
and,
Maryland.
I mean,
Oh yeah, they were floating. Okay, the University of Maryland, they were streaking. They had a streaking back. This is back in the days of streakers. Okay, they had like 500 people streaking across campus nude.
Are they still streaking today?
Yeah.
I didn't streak because I didn't
Well-
want you to laugh.
I just want to know. See,
Mari didn't
you gotta-
streak because he would have tripped.
See, I've already just left out the building with any commentary because you have to kind of give it a time relevance. You guys have to look back in the day now. Things can change in a year or two. Look, Deion Sanders went to Jackson
still
State
part that
and
pubic
flipped
hair
it
in
in
the
1
middle.
year. Right?
You know, the last time I was at Howard's homecoming, one of those young girls walked up to me and smacked me on the behind and told me I had swag for an old alumni dude.
See, I brought up.
That's all
That
the
shit
young.
made my day.
Yeah, you still remember.
Yeah.
You haven't even watched that cheek, have you?
Young fine young ladies. Obviously smart.
You know what?
And with good taste.
Right. Like I said,
And
you
a sense
guys,
of bravado.
I wasn't trying to go down the memory lane. I did provide some links in my ethos. And there's a link that's already out there in Twitter and Facebook and extra. So you can go and see if you can add contrast to this. This has been my ethos.
I don't agree.
It's been my ethos.
I don't know.
They say the OGs are always sitting back going, I'm suspect. Come on, now. You don't want to be the OGs, looking like the OGs, and rebelling like the OGs.
Well, I'm sure these kids are having a lot of fun
It's
doing
hard.
whatever they do.
Remember now,
Ethos.
we're in social media. You're not even accounting for that.
Yeah.
That right there is putting you out in a whole different
Yeah.
space.
See, we
Well,
used
ladies
to
and
have
gentlemen, it's interesting. That's our broadcast, even though I would say this. We're only 20 minutes over. But we're changing the standards.
So
Right,
you-
Vic?
yeah, when
Because
you-
we could go on.
Listen. I looked at the clock on you, and you was doing. You could have done the full hour and left mine
Yeah,
out.
you can't have a topic like abortions. That was a heck of a topic.
Yeah.
Well, we got what I said, and that was just an introduction to the
Yeah.
topic. Because I couldn't get into the topic because after I read my first preliminary stuff with Mari, I was like, oh, Lord. I was ready to debate Planned Parenthood of... But we can, because we got to deal with, at least, okay, I tried to warn, true to this, I warned my,
Not too many people are
my
saying too much.
coworkers. I had my coworkers about this, and we're going to be getting to it too. But it is one of those things that needs to be discussed in the black community. It's a hot topic. It's also a topic where people actually have some interesting opinions because, despite those black numbers, right, people really have an impression that the issue, not the numbers, the issue of abortion rights being a white woman's issue. In other words, in the black community, they'll even say, well, that's what the white women fight about. That's what they care about. Okay, that's what they say in the black community. Okay, and we need to recognize it's our issue.
Right.
And you're not hearing that. That's what I'm saying. You're not hearing black people address Roe versus Wade as if it's a black issue. And Omari, that's what happened to me. After I read my stuff, it became a black issue for me. So, Omari, you got stuff coming up soon too.
Yeah, we've got. We're going to be down in Compton again, working with the Key of Knowledge down at Tucker Park. There's 3 communities right around that park that the Key of Knowledge will provide after-school programs. We're going to do a drone camp with them and actually do a little documentary on what that organization has been doing down in Compton. And we're also going to be launching this cannabis project. There will be a cannabis networking, a loyalty program for cannabis businesses, and we hope to have a lot of discussion around the health issues related to cannabis, the legal issues related to cannabis. So we're excited about that. And then Mario and I and Vic will explore doing a format like The Quiet Storm, where we get to play some real nice music for folks our age and for some young folks who want to know what folks our age are listening to. So that's what's coming up.
Vic, what about you?
I'm just going to see if I can get a fellowship with the HBCU subject part 2, because I noticed that it really stimulated you guys, and you are actually rebelling against the success of HBCUs this morning by saying you don't believe the rankings. So I'm going to continue that effort. I will continue that effort. See, when you get the room not to believe, you do a part 2, because then you got to bring the gunpowder. Please, you guys, not a gun. Okay. Not a,
So there it is.
It's metaphor.
We'll be back next week. Omari Bakari. Give it up for the man in red, everybody.
Yeah.
Victor Allen. Sexual Chocolate. That's right, and Mario Hemsley, the slow hand of the dead man. Give it up. Yeah.
I'm not your regular dude. I bust moves like a young MC. Yeah, sorta, that would be me. Got me thinking about putting down the mic one day. Then I get some more love. Thanks for the love. I gotta play. Hey, what can I say? I'm a Leo to the finish, man. I love God, so my faith won't diminish, man. Once I step up to the mic, I speak truth. Hip hop wasn't designed to exploit the black youth, but somewhere along the lines we dropped the ball again. I mean that man in the mirror, yeah, that ball dude. But now I'm back to right the wrongs of my past world. So let me walk this off my list like my name's Earl. Articulate my thoughts clearly like Professor Les. Do you remember Rap City with Deja and Les? I'm looking at the front door, that's the main source. You fool, yeah, wait till I hit you with the main course. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. While you brag about it, I'll be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. Listen to Tribe, push it along. You like my raps, but really I write songs. I like to do it like this once in a while to show some versatility and make you all smile. It's been a long time coming, I know, I feel it too. The more I take a break, it's like the more I break through. With my time with Space Boy Funk, I'm on point. You bless this microphone every time I anoint the pen and pad. I face the bad head on. Escape inside the music, see my diary's a song and song. Till I write my next verse, then I go again. Into the studio, I feel I gotta flow again. This ain't just music to me, it's like my recipe. To be honest, it's more creative tranquility. This ain't just music to me, it's like my recipe. To be honest, it's more creative tranquility. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. They say they get me, I don't think they ever got me. My name's Kowalski, but they call me Kawasaki. Online I'm funds, but in real life I'm more like Chachi or Cola. I told you, I'm funky like granola. Bars, can't you see that I'm a star? Who pumps his own gas in the cold really fast? As I pass on your gold digging stash. I'd rather make my own money, not advance me loan money. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA. I was spitting when you was a kid, you doing what I did, you know I still got it. Why you brag about it? I be on the solo, making my money's grow residual. I'm individual, nobody's got my DNA.